Okay. So today's our topic is inadequacy of classical mechanics and origin of quantum theory. So let us start with the topic. So in earlier days, when we were not known of the quantum theory, then we used the classical mechanics to explain all the observable phenomena, and all those phenomena were explained on the basis of the basically Newton's laws of motion. So the main focus was on the Newton's laws of motion. You might be knowing that there are three laws. The first is the law of inertia. So we are discussing the Newton's laws of motion. First is the law of inertia. That is, a body will maintain its state either in the rest or in the motion if we doesn't apply any external force. So this is the statement of the law of inertia. And then second is the law of force. Second is the law of force. Law of force means we have two equations. One is the force is equal to mass into acceleration, and the same equation can also be represented by a different equation, that is the force is equal to rate of change of the linear momentum. So force is equal to dp by dt. This is the second law of Newton's laws of motion. And the third is the well-known law, which is the law of action and reaction. Law of action and reaction. Action and reaction. So most of the macro objects, the motion of the macro objects can be explained on the basis of these laws or on the basis of the classical mechanics. But when we deal with the micro particles, very small particles like the electron, proton, and so on, subatomic particles, then the motion of these particles cannot be explained on the basis of the Newton's laws of motion. And then we should know some other mechanics, and therefore there were certain phenomena which could not be explained on the basis of the classical mechanics. So let us list those phenomena which could not be explained on the basis of the classical mechanics. Could not be explained on the basis of classical mechanics. On the basis of classical mechanics. Classical mechanics. So these were the stability of atom, and then spectral distribution of black body radiation, spectral distribution of black body radiation, and then third is the photoelectric effect, then Compton effect, and then the heat capacity of solids, capacity of solids at low temperature, and then the optical line spectra. So many phenomena we were able to explain on the basis of the classical mechanics, but there were also few phenomena which are listed here. These phenomena could not be explained on the basis of the classical mechanics, and to explain such phenomena, in 1900 Planck proposed a hypothesis known as the Planck's quantum theory. So it was introduced first to explain the black body radiation. So let us discuss first the black body radiation with respect to black body radiation. Black body radiation. So black body means an object which can absorb all the emission, all the radiation of all the wavelength, and which can also emit the radiation of all the wavelength. So that body is known as the black body. So in respect of the black body radiation, Planck has given his theory or his hypothesis that the body or the black body cannot emit any energy value corresponding to a particular wavelength. In the classical mechanics or in the classical explanation, it was assumed that black body can emit all the energy values for a particular wavelength, but Planck has given in his hypothesis that it cannot emit any energy value corresponding to a particular wavelength. The energies can be emitted only in the energy packets, only in terms of the energy packets. And these energy packets are known as the quanta of energy. And this energy is given by E is equal to h nu. Or in terms of the wavelength, it is hc by lambda. So here h is the Planck constant. H is Planck constant, and c, you know, it is the speed of light. C is the speed of light. Then nu is the frequency of the radiation. And then lambda is the wavelength, corresponding wavelength. And h is constant, and the value is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. So this is the value of the h. So this statement, which is the statement of the Planck's quantum theory, this is in contradiction with the earlier statement or earlier known things that any energy value can be emitted corresponding to a given wavelength, but now all the energy values cannot be emitted if the wavelength is lambda or if the wavelength is frequency. Only certain energy which is equal to h nu can be emitted. Then the other energy values will be the integer number of this h nu, that is nh nu. So we can have the energy values like h nu, then 2h nu, and then 3h nu, and so on. So here n is integer. N is integer. So the energy is now quantized. Energy cannot take any value, but energy is quantized. So this is basically the quantum theory. It comes from the word quanta, quanta of the energy. So energy is quantized and therefore it is known as the quantum theory. Now let us discuss first the black body spectrum. What is the black body spectrum? Experimental observation of the black body spectrum. So let us plot a curve for the experimental observation on the black body spectrum. So on the x-axis we have lambda, which is the wavelength, and here we have radiancy, E lambda. E lambda is the radiancy. Radiancy means it is the energy per unit time, per unit surface area, So this curve is like this. At different temperatures, the curve is like this. So let us say this is T1 temperature, then T2, then T3 and T4. Now mark the maximum value. So this is the maximum value of the energy. So if we join all these maximum value of the energy, then this curve looks like this. So now let us discuss the salient features of this graph, the features of the black body radiations spectrum features. So what we see that at a given temperature, the radiancy or the energy increases, then it attains a maximum and then again decreases. So first the energy increases with lambda. Attains a maximum value at a specific lambda, and that lambda is known as lambda m. After that it again decreases. So let us again look at the graph. So at a particular temperature, the energy increases with the lambda. With the increase in the lambda, the energy increases. It attains a maximum value. So this maximum value is known as the lambda m, and then again it decreases with the lambda. And the same thing happens with all the temperature. So this is the first feature, and then the second is the value of lambda corresponding to maximum energy, decreases with increase in temperature, with increase in temperature. So what is the meaning of this statement? So for at the temperature T1, so let us say this is the lambda m1 and then this is the lambda m2, then lambda m3 and then it is the lambda m4. So what we see that if we increase the temperature is increasing in this direction. So if we increase the temperature, then value of this lambda m means that wavelength for which the energy is maximum. So this value of lambda m decreases. So this is the next feature, and it was found by the Wien that lambda m into T is constant. Lambda m into T is constant, and this is known as Wien's law. Wien's law or Wien's displacement law. Lambda m into T is equal to constant. This is the Wien's displacement law. Now come to the third feature. The value of energy. The value of energy. The value of energy or radiancy increases with temperature at all the wavelengths, So meaning is that if we take a particular wavelength, let us say this is the wavelength, this is a particular wavelength. So at a particular wavelength, if we increase the temperature, then the energy value will increase. And here again, if we take a particular wavelength here, then if we increase the temperature, then the energy value will increase. So this is the meaning, that the value of energy increases with temperature at all the wavelength. Then next is that the area under the curve. The area under the curve. The area under the curve in a given wavelength range, gives the total energy at all the wavelengths, means if we take this curve, then area under the curve. So let us mark the range like this, lambda 1 to lambda 2, then this area under the curve will represent the total energy corresponding to each wavelength within the range lambda 1 to lambda 2. So that is the meaning of this statement. So these are the features of the black body spectrum which is experimentally observed. Now to explain this black body spectrum, few laws were given by the scientist, and the one was the Wien's law. To explain this black body radiation, there is a law known as the Wien's law. So in Wien's law, he connected two equations. One is the lambda m into T is equal to constant. He proposed this equation, lambda m into T is equal to constant, that is, if temperature is increased, then lambda m value will decrease, and the value of this constant is 0.2896 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter Kelvin. So this is the value of the constant, lambda m T is equal to constant, and the value is 0.2896 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter Kelvin. Then he proposed one more equation, that Em is proportional to 1 upon lambda to the power 5. 1 upon lambda to the power 5, where Em is the emissive power. This is the emissive power. Emissive power. Or we can also write it as Em into lambda 5 is equal to constant. And there is one more law, that the total energy is proportional to the T to the power 4. Is proportional to the T to the power 4. So this can be written as E is equal to sigma T to the power 4, where sigma is the Stephan constant. Stephan constant. So by combining these two laws, Wiens has proposed energy density for the black body spectrum U lambda d lambda. The meaning of U lambda d lambda means the energy density within the range lambda and lambda plus d lambda. This represents the energy density. Energy density means energy radiated per unit volume, means that is the energy density. U lambda is the energy density, and then within the range lambda and lambda plus d lambda. So this is the energy density, and then he proposed that this energy density is equal to A upon lambda to the power 5 and some function of the lambda t d lambda, and that function is A upon lambda to the power 5 into e to the power minus b upon lambda t into d lambda. So this is the equation where A and B are constant. A and B are constants. So this was the expression for the energy density given by Wien, and this expression, it was able to explain the black body spectrum in shorter wavelength, in the range of shorter wavelength, there was agreement with experimental values, but at longer wavelength or at larger wavelength, the values are less than the experimental value. Means there is disagreement between the Wien's law and the actual observed experimental value. So we see that Wien's law was not able to explain the black body spectrum. Therefore, another law was given by the Rayleigh gene. Another law was given by Rayleigh gene to explain the black body radiation, and that is known as the Rayleigh gene's law. So in his hypothesis, they assume that the wall of the black body is made up of atomic oscillators. meaning is that because the wall is made up of the atoms, and these atoms are behaving like the atomic oscillators. And then he assumed that each frequency of the atomic oscillator is like one mode. One frequency means one mode, another frequency means another mode. You can also think like the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom. Then further he assumed that, or he accepted the law of equipartition of energy. He applied the law of equipartition of energy. So what is the law of equipartition of energy? The law says that all the energy of the system is equally divided into all the degree of freedom of the system. So suppose if there are 100 joule of the energy, and there are let us say 5 degree of freedom, then each degree of freedom will have the 100 divided by 5. So that much joule, 20 joule, and this energy is equal to, he has assumed that this equal energy is equal to kT. This in Rayleigh-Jean's law, it is assumed that equal energy, or the law, using the law of equipartition of energy, the energy corresponding to each degree of freedom corresponds to kT, where K is the Boltzmann constant and T is the temperature, absolute temperature in the Kelvin. So this is the energy kT. So what will be the energy density? So according to him, the energy density U lambda d lambda, the meaning is same, that is the energy per unit volume within the range lambda and lambda plus d lambda, that represents the energy density. And this energy density is 8 pi, equation is 8 pi nu square upon c cube, 8 pi nu square upon c cube d nu. This is the number of modes. This represents the number of modes within the range, because here I have written the d nu, therefore we should write here, instead of u lambda d lambda, I should write here u nu d nu. The same thing, means the energy density corresponding to the frequency range nu and nu plus d nu, because I have written in terms of the nu, therefore I should replace it by u nu d nu instead of u lambda d lambda. So this is the number of modes, different modes or degree of freedom, and multiplied by the energy corresponding to each degree of freedom, which is kT, multiplied by kT. So this was the equation given by the using the Rayleigh-Jean's law. And now we can convert this equation into u lambda d lambda by the simple mathematics. U is equal to c by lambda, and therefore d nu is equal to minus c by lambda square d lambda, differentiation. And if we put these value here, taking only the mod value means this negative will become positive, then we have 8 pi kt. So this will be 8 pi, and instead of nu square, let us write here c square by lambda square, and then of course there will be this c cube, and instead of d nu, I will write here c upon lambda square and d lambda, and then multiplied by kt. So let us see what will happen. This c cube will get cancelled with this c square and c, and then we are left with 8 pi kt divided by lambda to the power 4 into d lambda. And now this expression is u lambda d lambda. This expression is u lambda d lambda, the energy density. So this is the equation given by the Rayleigh-Jean, and this equation was able to explain the black body radiation, able to explain the black body radiation at longer wavelength, but it was not able to explain the whole spectrum or the spectrum at the shorter wavelength. So what we find that using the classical mechanics, one could explain the we have two laws. First is the Wien's law, which is able to explain at the shorter wavelength, and there is another law which is the Rayleigh-Jeans law, and this Rayleigh-Jeans law can explain at longer wavelength, but there is not a single law which can explain the whole spectrum of the black body, and therefore there is the need of the another law which can successfully explain the black body spectrum. So now again let us come to the spectrum. Let us see the spectrum. So in this spectrum we have lambda here, wavelength, and here we have radiancy, the energy, and this is the spectrum at a particular temperature. So the Wien's law is like this. It was like this. Wien's law is like this. That is, it can explain it, or it is in agreement with the the solid line represents the experimental value, and this dotted line represents the Wien's law. So it is in agreement at the shorter wavelength on this side, but if we go towards the longer wavelength, then there is disagreement and the value is less than the experimental value. Then the Rayleigh-Jeans law, this is something like this. It is deviated at the shorter, but it is in agreement at the longer wavelength. So both the laws cannot explain fully the whole spectrum. They can explain only certain part of the black body spectrum, the observable or the experimental spectrum of the black body. So we need another theorem to explain, or another theory to explain the whole spectrum of the black body. Now if using the Rayleigh-Jeans law, if we calculate the total energy, which is for all the wavelengths 0 to lambda, and then u lambda d lambda, the total energy density within the range 0 to lambda. If we do this, then it is 0 to lambda. Let us substitute the value, which is 8 pi kt divided by lambda to the power 4 into d lambda. If we do this exercise, then we get infinity. The value is infinity, means for all the wavelength energy is infinite. So this is also not the correct, and therefore this is known as the ultraviolet catastrophe. This is known as the ultraviolet catastrophe. So using this relation, one can also deduce that the law which is given by Rayleigh-Jeans is not a perfect equation for all the wavelength, because here we have integrated within all the range 0 to infinity. Let us substitute here infinity, 0 to infinity. Lambda is 0 to infinity. So within the whole range of the lambda 0 to infinity, the energy is infinite. So this is not possible, and which is termed as the ultraviolet catastrophe. So now we need another theory, and that another theory is given by Planck in 1900, which is termed as the Planck quantum theory. Planck quantum theory. So this will be our next lecture, Planck quantum theory, and now let us stop here.